I was asleep on the couch 15 minutes ago. I'm like, oh, I gotta get it.
And the little box above me says we're live, so now everybody knows that Matt was asleep on the couch 15 minutes ago, and everybody else is jealous because
I'm gonna have to go back down and rewatch Daredevil episode 6.
Oh no, la, can't hear you.
Well, I'm not. I fell asleep in the middle of it. I can't.
I'm still on episode 2 because I'm waiting for my kid to come back and hang out with me, and he had family obligations. No, not family obligations. He was doing cadet stuff this weekend, so he was with his mom the whole weekend.
I'm enjoying the season. We'll see.
Good. Yep. I think I'm only 2 episodes in. I don't really remember now. I'll be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Sure. Hello, everybody. Sorry, we're just rambling on.
You're on Daredevil chat.
Yeah, we're on Daredevil chat. Welcome to the Daredevil 2025. No. Yeah, welcome everybody. It's episode 210. I had to look over because I couldn't remember of our chat. I even got the date right, April 9th. Wow, I was like, oh, did I change it? But I did. Again, another slow set week. The only announcement we had this week was the busts, like that was announced today. So I figured maybe we could chat about some of the rumors. Did I spell chatting wrong? I think I did. I double T'd it. I don't know if there's 2 T's in chatting.
Every time you say we're going to talk about the bust, the 18-year-old in me, yes, the police academy scene where they break in and there's a large-chested woman and she goes, is this a bust? And he's like, yes, it is.
Yeah, fair enough. No, but anyways, yeah. So we'll talk about that. Like I said, we'll probably cover some rumors that we've heard. Probably won't show anything official. I know some stuff has been leaked, but it isn't in the news sources yet. At least Brickset are the Brick Fan, which are the ones I kind of consider, newsworthy or stuff we might post. I even checked Jay's Brick blog and a few of the other ones, and they weren't there either. So I know. There was some Star Wars leakage from that didn't sound right, but from Germany as well. So, yeah.
I don't think I know about other leaks. I'm gonna have to look this up on my phone so I can be properly prepared.
I don't know them all either. This is more of a hey, have you heard about this? Have you heard about the Star Trek thing in October and stuff like that? Which I still am hesitant about. I'll be honest. I still don't. I'm still like, really?
Because you're hating Star Trek.
No, just well, it's the same as the idea as Pokemon. I mean, like the license still, like you could still get Pokemon sets out there, I think. So anyway, so yeah, just before this, I was processing a Lego order because I'm like, if I can get it done now, then I don't have to worry about it at 11 o'clock tonight. So I was kind of doing that. That's why we were a few seconds late, and then I forgot to bring up the graphic. And graphic! Look at me talking all high tech and stuff. So yeah. That is done with, so I don't have to. That doesn't distract me anymore. So yeah, Etienne has joined us today as well as Matt, who's got his fur trapping hat on. The fur trappers from what state or what?
This is the Edmonton minor league team, and I want to point out the amazing little snowshoes, and then he's got a hide hat, and then he's got the little glove, and he kind of looks like Eric Cartman playing.
When I first looked at the snowshoes, I thought they could be beaver tails.
That's what I thought first, beaver tails.
But I just wanted to mention beaver, really, because that's what they're trying.
Got dust and beaver. We might as well get and leakage. So we're going.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm showing my Canadian solidarity here. I'm wearing the Edmonton beat. I hate all the things our president is putting our friends through. So I'm wearing my Beavers hat today. Edmonton, go fur trappers.
I mean, other than the everyday something weird is going on over there. I mean, I've seen a few prices raised on some, like orange juice has gone up another $1 or $2, but orange juice has been going up every $2 every few months anyhow, right? Like our Tropicana.
When they're getting snow and cold temperatures down in Florida, it's going to go up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, we're screwed anyhow. But like the Tropicana orange juice, I buy the 2.6 liter, whatever that is, 3/4 gallon. I don't know what size it is in the States.
Does it come in a bag?
No, it doesn't come in a bag. It comes in the Tropicana bottle. I was buying that. I have switched over to a Canadian packaged one. But they were like $6-7 like pre-COVID. Now they're like 11. And I'm like, okay, like that's with the current, they've got a little T on the label beside them say this is tariffed. But other than that, that's really the only thing I've seen here.
Yeah.
I mean, my company is into health insurance and healthcare and stuff like that. So we're not really seeing it there because we're not.
Wait, I thought TELUS was communication.
I work for TELUS Health.
Oh,
but even TELUS corporate.
Okay.
I mean, not a lot of cell phones are made in the States, right?
Yeah.
Other than maybe some Google, but most of that stuff's made overseas and shipped in. So, like from a point of view of that, it doesn't seem to that it will affect us, obviously, but people are going to be spending less because they have, less money to go around. So therefore,
I will say this: U.S. companies are going to be stockpiling spare parts like mad in the next months in case these tariffs do go through. So, like, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, are there any other hats from Canadian companies? I need to order them like at least 30 days before so that they can ship across the border and I don't have to pay. So I'll be looking at Anthem Hat Company and Noble North, which are two of my favorite Canadian hat makers. I'll be like, if there's anything I want, I'm gonna get it. In the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Be careful. They might have some item tariffs that they don't tell you, or they're gonna charge it without telling. Honestly.
Well, and I mean that's this week, right? Like tomorrow, it could be different. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Hate saying that, but
no,
just aluminum. We found out today that aluminum tariffs, because I'm in the aluminum industry, and
okay.
We got a 25% at the beginning of March, which was the normal one. And there was another 25% that was supposed to be mid-March, and it was pushed to April and then put on hold.
Yeah.
But apparently it was charged anyway.
Nice.
Starting March 17, we found out today.
Jeez.
They were not telling, but they were charging.
That's crazy.
So we got an invoice for one of our customer of few $100,000.
Jesus.
One of the things that I've been trying to tell people, well, I haven't tried yet. I haven't posted this yet, but it's like, even though there's a hold off of 90 days, I still think the U.S. is going to have a recession, and I'm going to make my own financial decisions with the assumption that because all these companies, there isn't a clear answer. It's like, oh, we're kicking this down another 3 months, and he might impose all this stuff. So like, all these companies are going to be sprinting to try to shorten their supply lines as much as possible.
Yeah,
and they're going to. I predict that some of the U.S. companies are already going to start charging higher prices just so that they have the cash in case the tariff. So like, I think we're already going to see people get laid off, prices go up. I think we're going to have a recession in the U.S. By Christmas. I mean, I'm counting on it.
Not even probably before, within the next 6 months.
Yeah. So, which, as somebody who hates Trump politically, I know that if and I'm a professor, I know if the economy goes down, it'll kill his ratings, and the other party will win in the midterms. But I still don't like
Trump for a far period of time away, right?
I don't like seeing the average person suffer. I take no pleasure in that, but I do know that it will undercut his popularity, and he'll lose votes in 20 months when we have our next election. That's a long ways away, though. So, but you'll have an election. I've been watching the numbers in the Canadian, and it's quite interesting. I've always followed your Canadian elections a bit as an American growing across the border, and one of the places, a betting market where you can like place wagers on which party you think will be the next prime minister or how many seats or whatever. And I was looking at it, and it's like a letter X, where the probability or the expectation of the marketplace was that the Conservative Party was going to win, and then the Liberal Party, and it's completely flipped. And I looked today, and the wagering for the Canadian election was that the Liberal Party was 80% likely to win the prime minister's position, which was the total opposite, I don't know, about 3 months ago. So it's completely flipped up there. So lots of things in motion.
Carney, the Liberal, a few years ago, he kind of helped Trump in one of his business, the business that Carney used to be part of or finance one of Trump's business to get him out of trouble.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he came out last week in the news.
Well, he's certainly not pro-Trump today.
Probably not, but I mean,
But
maybe
I mean,
he has something in his pocket to deal with, and who knows?
yeah. Oh, like he has a bargaining card because he helped him out in the past, and that's why Canada didn't get tariffed this time around or something.
Maybe.
All this really means though is on April 27th or whatever, go and vote. Regardless of who you vote for, go and vote, because if you think, the party that I want to win is going to win, if you don't go out to vote, then
Exactly.
they might not win, right?
I'll have to go before, because on April 28th I'll be in Florida, in Orlando.
Wow, you're a brave man.
Well, I'm going there for my daughter's cheerleading competition,
the
Summit, which is the Junior World Championship.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic about the brave man thing, but I mean, if this continues on, I probably won't go to Atlanta BrickCon next year, which will sadden me. But I don't want to bring a trailer full of Lego or a truck full of Lego across the border, and
you're going to get charged.
Well, I don't know. Are you? They'll might be more stringent. Like they might go over it with a fine-tooth comb, and
you might, because one of our client's client, they were going in the States to do a show, and their boot was made mainly with aluminum.
Okay.
And at the border, they asked them for the proof of where the aluminum was coming from, and the smelters, and all the and so on. And we couldn't supply that information because they've purchased like in 2019.
Yeah.
We didn't have the information.
Well, they can't tariff something that's used, though, can they?
Well, it's I don't know. So
it doesn't really matter. They can do whatever they want, type thing.
Exactly.
And what are you going to do? I mean,
you don't argue with the U.S. border.
Yeah, you can fight it and get it back later, maybe. But
well, I saw a graph today from an airline industry that showed.
Was it a Lego graph?
No, it's not.
Okay, just check it.
It was flights, the number of seats on flights for passengers leaving the United States to go abroad, and then the number of flights coming back. And Americans are still flying abroad, but the number of people coming to the U.S. is starting to fall precipitously. Yeah. And there are consequences. People don't have confidence, or they just don't know. Like we're talking, like nobody kind of really knows. No. So just like Jeff's saying, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, do I want to try to bring stuff across? Just that uncertainty is going to undermine economic activity. So, the tourism dollars that Jeff would spend if he came to Atlanta, well, he might not spend them next year. So like that's going to decrease the income for the hotel, and all the things that Jeff might have spent money on.
All the Canadians going to Florida to spend time over there. And there's a lot of Quebecers that are spending a lot of time in Florida, not going back there. So
they're selling houses.
On my side, going to Disney, I'll be going to Disney the last 2 days. I'll be in Orlando, so probably it's going to be not crowded as it should be, which is.
I mean, you'll still get a lot of Americans there, but you won't get a lot of Canadians necessarily.
Even Old Orchard Beach, for those who know where it is, in Maine, there's a lot of Quebecers spending a lot of time over there in the summertime, and apparently it's down like 60-70%.
Crazy.
And it's Old Orchard Beach lives because of the Canadian going there, the Quebecers going there. So
well, there's a couple towns in Florida that are just heavily, you probably already know this, but heavily populated by French Canadians, where a lot of people speak French, and people kind of all retire in this little neighborhood where there are people with their shared culture and stuff.
It's the local Quebec TV station called TVA, and the newspaper, the local newspaper, the Quebec newspaper and the Montreal newspaper are distributed in Florida.
Oh yeah, because I'm a fan of another YouTube channel, and normally he's called Geography King. I'm a big fan. Like he'll talk about like road trips and like national parks, and like he did one where he rated like all of the flags of the 50 states, and then he did one on Canadian provinces, and just like he just does stuff kind of fun. Most of it's fun related to geography, but he put out an episode where he talked about, with all the chaos, like he's like, it's unlikely, but there's a possibility that borders could change or something, like and one of the things that he suggested, which had never even showed up on my mind, is the United States territory of Puerto Rico is not a state, and it's not a possession. It has what's called Commonwealth status, and under the terms, Puerto Rico has an option. It can stay as it is, where it has more favorable tax laws, or it can petition to become a U.S. state, or it could announce it's becoming independent. And he made the argument that Puerto Rico should announce it's leaving the United States and then petition to join Canada, so that Canadians have a warm weather place to retire. They can get their orange juice, like from Puerto Rico, and like there could be this basically like warm weather province that could merge. I thought it was like clever. I mean, it's probably
that would be like Alaska, which is west of,
fair.
Yeah.
Just the whole idea of Puerto Rico becoming and I was like, okay, great. So now Canada's going to have to label everything in English, French, and Spanish.
Well, I mean, only if we make it an official language, right?
True, that's true.
So, I mean, it doesn't mean we won't say it's not an official language, but we might not say it's official. Like, yeah,
it's a little easier in that Puerto Rico would be physically separate. So, like anything going to Puerto Rico, obviously.
Well, and they speak English there, so it's not like it's it's all Spanish.
I had no. I was just there.
I don't know if you've seen it, the draft. There was a survey made, was it 2 weeks ago, by a Canadian surveyor, and they were asking the northern states, would you rather have Canada joining the states or your state being a Canadian province? And there was more people saying that we would like to be a Canadian province than having Canada as a 51st states.
Yeah,
I believe that. Yeah.
So
Duplo.
Is that sand blue?
No, it's light gray.
Okay, at the camera I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, light gray. So, I got my bricks and pieces ordered in this week. So, it's mostly been distributed around the room to put stuff where it needs to go. But
is there an advent calendar on your
yes,
shoulder?
the Star Wars advent
Star Wars,
calendar. I'm up to day 18, I think. No, 20 might be opened. No, yeah, I'm up to day 20. I just open it whenever I'm bored.
It's like -4 months, day 4.
Yeah. Pretty much. Every month I open. No,
he's opening 2 a month. Right. Every 2 weeks he's opening a box.
Pretty much. Sorry, my floor mat was caught up. I got one of those chair mats, like the plastic things, and it was pushing up against the leg of the table, so I was doing one of these, and I can feel it under my feet, and I just need to fix it. But anyways, so yeah, I know we don't normally want to talk politics, but it's nice to vent for a few minutes with people. So,
and it does impact our Lego hobby. I mean, like I can only mention how Lego is trying to figure that out, right? So they're trying to they have a factory in Virginia that they're building, but it's not going to be ready in 3 months.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to be able to build every part in Virginia.
No, they won't.
Right. Like I'm assuming like they have multiple factories so they can spread it across all those places and just ship it wherever it needs to go. But
I mean, presumably they could use to ship to Canada. They could ship from other non-US locations and not avoid the US driven tariffs. But I'm assuming Denmark was on that list of that list of countries to
that funny list with the Penguin Island.
I'm assuming so too.
Huh? I never really thought about that. So yeah.
So if you have tariffs going out and then coming in and then going back out, Legos are going to be quite expensive at some places.
Yeah, and I mean, just last thing I want to say because I couldn't get to say it earlier. You were talking about companies are stockpiling stuff. I know I'm following Ford right now because I need a new car. And Ford has said that they have a stockpile of like 2 or 3 months of all the parts they need.
Okay.
To like in the States already. So and they're doing this employee pricing thing in the States where you're getting like the employee pricing for all cars. So they've been like gangbusters selling vehicles.
Yeah.
So good for them. And this whole delay that they announced today, last night the tariffs would have kicked in here, or us applying tariffs to the States.
Right.
So I was worried because it was for cars. It was any car that doesn't fall into the NAFTA replacement, USMCA, whatever it's called, agreement that doesn't fit the requirements, they get tariffed. So literally all morning I was just refreshing the pages to just make sure the prices weren't going up. But up until a few hours ago when I read the latest things being paused, and I don't know if it applies to us at all.
Yeah.
Why are you showing us your Apple?
Yeah, because my iPhone is cracked, and at some point I'm going to need to replace it. Do I buy one in the next 2 months?
Yeah, I guess so.
These are not going to be cheap if tariffs go,
and they're already not cheap.
Yeah, they're already not cheap.
Right.
Yeah.
So do I rush out and get an iPhone, by the end of the month, so that I don't know if you can see it, it's got all these spider web cracks.
Okay, yeah, I just it looks like dirt from here. I was like, why are you showing me your dusty phone? But yeah. So in the States, are the phone plans like when you have a phone plan, can you just like lease to own your phone type thing?
You can. Most of them are set up where most of the like telecom companies will offer a deal where like the telecom company would say like, oh, for an extra like $50 you can get a phone and it'll pay off over X number of months.
Yeah, so lease to own type thing. Yeah. They do that here too. So I was just curious because I mean, like that's the problem. Like I'm Google with the Pixels because I can get one for $700-800, but $700-800 is still a lot of money, right? So, and I think I'm due for one this year, so I'm debating it as well. But yeah, all the things I need to debate.
Hey Jeff, you were talking about Ford.
Yeah.
No, just the Ford F-150.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most sold truck in the U.S.
Yeah.
They said with all those tariffs, it's going to be like $10,000 to $15,000 U.S. more per truck.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. So
yeah.
I'm wondering. My son was visiting. He's in Chicago today and yesterday and tomorrow for a field trip, and they were visiting Ford, the F-150 factory yesterday. I'm wondering when he's going to come back. If they talked about the tariffs and stuff like that to them. Yeah. I'm going to ask for sure.
The thing is, no one really knows what's going on too, because like I was trying to find a list of cars that comply with the USMCA, thing, and that list, as far as I know, doesn't exist. It's not public, at least, and I'm like, but
we don't know that, and they don't know what is good or not good, and what is going in those lists. It changes so often, daily, hourly. No one knows what to do now. Well, even our lawyers, the lawyers that we hired for helping us out with those tariffs, they don't even know right now. They're all mixed up.
It's because the White House is deciding things at the last second and not telling people. And I mean, you could maybe make an argument for an industrial policy, but they're not making an argument. It's so arbitrary. It's so like the stuff that rolled out at the press conference, like literally they hadn't finalized the numbers until like 6 hours before the president walked out and had his big board. Like they didn't even print it out. Like seriously, like so nobody could warn anybody, or like nobody knew exactly like, okay, this is on the list. They didn't even know. Like it's so ad hoc. And I'm sorry for one of my friends shared this like X post where this person was like, oh, it's all part of this like grand strategy. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a grand strategy, or maybe it's a 78-year-old man who just is governed by impulses, who just decided impulsively to do this, and it doesn't make any sense. And so like pretending that it's 9-dimensional chess is one theory, or the other theory is he's making it up as he goes along. And to me, more evidence points to he has no idea what he's doing. He's just
so 9-dimensional chess.
Hey, we're gonna finish on that, but I mean, I don't like what he's doing, but he's not that stupid either. I gotta say, at some points, he's not that stupid. I'm not for him. Okay, by the way, but you just look at the aluminum tariffs that he imposed to every country in the world except one.
Russia?
No.
Oh.
Australia. And you know why? Because the main material to make aluminum, bauxite, mainly comes from Australia. And in his plan, he wants to have smelters built back in the U.S. He needs the bauxite. And the other thing he needs is the electricity and the power, the energy to run those smelters.
Yeah.
Which is you don't have that much power in the U.S. We do.
Yeah.
Canadian hydro, baby.
There you go.
You were saying he was not playing 9-dimensional. He might not be playing 9-dimensional chess. And I was going to say, no, he's playing one. He might be playing one delusional. No. But anyway, so by the way, I've got my power back, and I've got fiber internet. So yay! Things are looking better. While my power was out, it came back on Thursday, so it was out for 5 days, Saturday to Thursday ish. And I was back at home Friday morning, which was good. But I missed a dealership appointment because my dealership also got iced over and for my car. So I have that rescheduled now for Friday. And in the mail, literally the day after I came back, was a, hey, Jeff, we're having a VIP sale. Come out, come get your car. And it's Thursday, the day before. So yesterday I get 2 calls, like 1 in the morning from one of the salespeople. And they're like, yeah, we're wondering if you can come, or if you're coming into the sale. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm coming to the dealership on Friday to get my oil change, and it's a 45-minute drive. So no, I won't be there.
Oh,
yeah,
it's not Peterborough?
There is a dealership in Peterborough. I just have never loved their service. So I go to Bob Cajun because that's where the constellations reveal themselves 1 star at a time. Tragically hip, for the record. But yeah, I go to Bob Cajun to get my car serviced, and that's where I buy my cars too.
Free endorsement right here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, that's the car I want. Actually, the one in the picture. So I then like literally 3 hours later, my sales guy that I haven't bought a car with yet because that guy left, and this is the new guy. He calls me. He's like, I have it in my books that I'm supposed to call you in the month of April because we're 6 months now from your lease ending. Okay. And I'm like, well, he's like, I'm wondering if you wanted to come out Thursday and we could talk. I'm like, no, but I'll come out Friday because I'm already going to be there. So this whole week I've been now. Do I go and just say, get me a car from a dealership in Canada or in Ontario that might not have the exact features I want, but the closest thing we can get? Do I now say, go order it from the States and hopefully it gets here in 2 months, but then I get tariffed on taxes or on aluminum and everything?
Are you looking to lease or buy again?
I leased previously.
Okay.
I think I'm going to buy now. Just because I want I'm under kilometers and all that stuff, but I'd rather know I own the car eventually type thing. It also technically, if I buy long enough period of time, it's almost cheaper than leasing. Not quite, right? Almost. Yeah, I mean the interest rates are dropping on some of the things now. So
okay. And why do you buy a new one? Why don't you buy a 2-year-old car or something?
Because I have a 4-year-old car. I could buy out my car right now. The thing is, when I bought this one, it was COVID, and it was basically the only car I could get at the time. So I bought like the lowest model, the lowest trim, and I wanted a nicer trim. My girlfriend, yes, I said that on the line. My girlfriend owns a Volvo and just bought a new one. And it's got ventilated seats, and I was sitting in it and I was playing with it, and I'm like,
"Oh,
I need this." So yeah, that's now that I went from lowest trim to highest trim, unfortunately, for almost any vehicle I want to buy. But anyway,
well, we are fortunate in our house that when Thomas got his insurance settlement for the accident that left him unable to work, we paid off both our vehicles. Knock on wood, I will not need to buy a car or lease one for another decade. So,
and worst case scenario, if you need to repair the car, which reminds me, did you get that done?
Oh yeah, the car got repaired.
Okay, so I mean, if you only have to worry about repairing the car, then you're not paying $300-400 a month or whatever the prices are, right? And I have always thought that as well. I would love to just own a car outright, and not have I could buy a used car, but the used car prices are super high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interest rates on used car prices are super high, right? And you don't know what's happened to that car in the past. Yes, a mechanic can look it over, but you don't know inside the engine what's happening and stuff. And
that's why you get a Carfax report.
Yeah, but you don't know that the guy was doing 180 down the road every day and just never got caught or got into an accident, right? Anyway, this car I tend to buy to keep because it has all the features I want, and I don't think I need anything else unless I need a bigger trailer in the future or something like that. But if that's the case, then I've got a problem.
Well, you don't need a bigger trailer. You won't go to the States anymore.
Well, no, but I still have to go to Montreal.
Yeah, good.
So, for the record, booked my hotel as well.
Yeah, thanks you. We've seen that. No, we're following daily, and you didn't announce it that I already knew you had booked.
Well, I announced it pretty much as soon as I booked it. I thought.
I almost knew it at the same time. We have a daily report almost hourly. And
it tells you who?
Huh?
Does it tell you who or
we know how many rooms and who booked and
who booked? Wow, that way you can say this person isn't part of the group or.
Well, no, we know we want to know if we have extra
number.
Rooms to book our schedule. So
we're
asking daily reports. So
yeah, okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's Atlanta. Atlanta. No, Brickamatie in Laval, April or August 14th to 17th.
15 to 17.
15th to 17th.
If you arrive, the convention is going to be one day on the Friday. But if you arrive, we might have the room, the place on probably on the Thursday night. Where right now it looks good, but we're gonna know like only a few weeks before. Yeah, you're gonna be one of the first. You're gonna be one of
if that's okay, because I bring my own tables and everything, so there's no setup for me.
We don't have any setups to do. Everything is gonna be set up for us.
Oh well, I was just kind of saying, like floor plan wise, there's nothing to. Yeah, anyway, okay, we'll talk anyhow. But yeah, that helps me out because it does take me just slightly over a day to set it up, even with help. Well, I have help. Okay. And she's wonderful help. Anyway,
hey, while talking to Brickamatie though, I gotta say one thing. We got a good news last week, and we couldn't tell before, but we now we can because the guy told us we are allowed to say he booked his trip and his hotel and stuff like that.
Okay,
we're gonna have a Brickmaster from Europe, the winner of France Brickmaster Season 1. Sébastien Mauvais, that is going to be with us. He's also the part owner of Brick Mag, which is a French magazine on Legos. Okay. Cool. I was published on that magazine last year with my firefighter sets collection. So he announced, he gave us his okay that he's traveling to Montreal next year, this summer, at the end of the summer. He's going to be in Brickamatie.
Now, I have to ask you, did more of the Kayla group, were they trying to watch the French version of the Lego Masters? Like, have they seen it? Will they know who he is?
Yeah. When COVID hit, Season 1 was being filmed, and there's 2 members of Kayla that were approached to be part of that show, but unfortunately, because COVID, they couldn't fly in.
Yeah. But sorry, what I'm trying to say, have you seen the season that this guy's from?
I've seen part of it, not all of it. Okay. Probably some of the Gaelic members watched all.
I don't know.
I'm watching all the Australian one right now.
Yeah, okay. The last season, I couldn't finish watching, unfortunately. The season that just occurred last year, I guess. Just because I think they had brought back, I can't remember now. I think they brought back some of the previous winners and then had some new kids as well. Yeah. And it was like, this doesn't work because like new against people that are experienced, and I don't know. Anyways, I couldn't finish it. No, I was more just asking because you're bringing someone from France who, I mean, might be known in the community, at least for you guys, because you read more French-related content for Lego than I would.
But he's known because of his magazine mainly. Also.
His magazine, okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I don't know.
We're working on something else also that I can't tell, but we're gonna have some more news in the next few weeks, months.
Awesome, cool. Well,
same venue,
welcome to chat about it, and here, obviously. So, but yeah. So, Matt, how have you been?
Well, other than worried about the world.
Well, and by the world, he means the States. But yeah.
Well, I'm not
and the world.
Literally the world. Like I'll try to get off, but like last night, the bond market started going weird, and the way it normally works is when stocks drop, bonds go up because like people move their money and they're balancing their risk portfolio, and bonds are seen as a safe place. But both were dropping, and that posed the risk of systemic economic trend financial collapse. Like that's like Great Depression 2.0 stuff. Like I literally went to bed last night going, like I was stressed out. I went in and like taught my first class, and then like between my first class and my second class, the word came out that he's delaying doing 3 months. I still think we're going to see a recession, but at least I'm like, okay, well at least the bond market's not going to totally go to pop.
And, at least not this week.
Not this week. I mean, I think we'll have a recession, but I just I don't want to see people I care about have to live through a depression. I mean, it's horrible. So, okay. Other than the horrible
Lego,
Lego.
I've been. I'm on the last floor. In fact, I'm on the final 2 bags of the Tudor house.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I often build sets in front of the TV. So when I'm up in the Lego room, I'm usually building creatively, or because I've got all my parts up here and I can reach up. So this is what I've been building, and I kind of was keeping an eye. We'll get to new sets in a minute, but I'm excited about the Steamboat comes out this week.
It's
out today. Yeah, I think it came out today.
No, earlier this week, I think, officially, but
Yeah.
for VIPs at least.
And I really, really was tempted to get the Hobbit set. Not the Hobbit, but the Lord of the Rings set at the top of town. But I had the first one, and I'm like, do I really want to pay all that money when I already have the first one? And I looked at the gift with purchase, and I decided it wasn't worth paying $270 US just to get a set that basically I could recreate the set other than the minifigs, with parts that I have. I think there's almost no unique parts in that. So I passed on spending $200 US.
Yeah, and I found it interesting that the gift of purchase lasted pretty much for the entire length of time. I don't know if it sold out at the end, but in today's 6, it was still available.
Is that right?
Of the promo. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that means less people bought the set than they were expecting. Yeah. Like bought the Shire.
Yeah.
In order to get that gift of purchase, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't bode well. So it's possible that maybe they'll re-release that as a gift with purchase with the Lord of the Rings sets later on or something like that to try and get that back. But yeah, it's kind of
so. I'll share one little story about gifts with purchase. So this last summer I was up in New York City for a teacher conference, and I went to the flagship store at 30 Rock, and the Lord of the Rings set of Barad-dûr, which is right up there. There's my towers. I was just chatting with the store person, and it had come out like a month earlier, and I said something like, well, how fast did you sell out of the GWP? Because like in Atlanta, they were all gone within the first 2 hours, because people came in to buy the set and they got the extra set, and the person was like, oh, we still have them. I was like, what do you mean you still have them? And I started chatting with the employees, and because it's in downtown New York City, they're like, well, people either have to get in a cab or get on a subway with this giant heavy Lego set. And because they have huge sales, they get sent more of the GWPs. They're all based on like store sales.
Yeah. Okay.
So like their store got like 800, or like and other stores might have only gotten 200 because they do massive amounts of sales. But a lot of what they sell are sets that people can buy and carry back to their places, or they're going to their hotels, or they take the subway, and they don't make their money off the big honking sets. They make their money off of the carryable set.
So you could have bought that set, whatever the set that gift for purchase came with that day, and probably they would have given you the gift for purchase still.
Yes, in fact, I texted a couple people in Atlanta, and I'm like, did you want it? Because and then I thought, well, what if they text me back? And I'm like, how am I? I'm gonna have to ride the subway back to my place.
Now you're stuck in that place. Yeah.
When I was like, I certainly don't want to drive a car into Midtown Manhattan tomorrow to pick up the set. Like that was not attractive.
Oh, geez. So yeah, building sets. Trying to escape the real world by building in the awesome world of Lego. Etienne, how about you? Building anything, or other than
in the last few weeks, it wasn't didn't have much time. Over the last weekend, I was in Niagara Falls for a cheerleading competition with my daughter. So and
cheerleaders.
Yeah, she finished second in her category over Canada for the nationals, which is awesome. So we're getting ready for the summit for the World Junior in a month.
Awesome.
So no, in the last because of that, it cost me so much the cheerleading that I haven't bought too much, and I'm doing more of cleanups and opening smaller sets, like I said last time, and still on it. I've opened like 3 other small sets, build them, and then just par them out. And
I will. Are you finished? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
I got a message from David St. Cyr late last night or early this morning.
We don't know that guy.
The Le Habitants beat my Detroit Red Wings, and it basically knocked Detroit out of their tiny percentage chance of maybe qualifying, and it basically locked it up for Montreal. And I was like, so I just want to say, like, he's not man enough to come on the show tonight.
Nice.
So if you're watching this later, David.
Honestly, I was watching the game last night, and I says, holy cow, we're going to be beaten up 23 shots after one, I said, and only 4 on our side. Says, holy shoot, it's going to be a long, long night. They only shot 12 times after that, and that's it in the last 2 periods, only 12. I said, okay, no, well,
We're watching at our house, and I said to my husband, I said, it's a bad sign that Detroit had all those shots and only has one goal, because they should have gotten two,
at least
maybe
two,
three out of goal. I mean,
Montreal was lucky when the big bounce behind the goal and came back in, and Goulet just kind of jumped in front and.
So, and then when that one sports team did that thing to the other sport. No, anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Jeff wasn't watching, but there was a play where Montreal's goaltender went behind the net to play the puck, and it deflected, and it literally came right out in front of the empty net. No. And a Detroit player goes to shoot it, and a Montreal player just sticks their blade out enough that it ramped it over the top of the net. I yelled so loud that I scared the cat at our house. I was like, no, I can't. How do you miss the empty net? And then on the replay, I was like, okay. It got deflected, but we were I was like, okay, after that, I was like, they're gonna lose the game.
All the gods were with Montreal on that one. So
I mean, I was gonna say, if Saint Cyr came on, I would point out that last year at the end of the season we beat Montreal back to back. So maybe it's just karma. It's Montreal's year.
Well, we were beaten by Detroit 4-1 a few weeks ago. So
yeah,
payback.
We've had some bad luck. We played this game against Ottawa. Early, a month, 2-3 weeks ago, and we really needed points, and the Detroit team fired 48 shots, and Ottawa's goalie only gave up 1 goal, and it wasn't for a lack of effort. I said, they lost this game to Montreal, they lost that important game to Ottawa, and I said it wasn't because they didn't try, they just got a hot goalie, and that's hockey.
Hey, that Friday Montreal is playing against the Sens. And that's going to be a 4-point game. And if Montreal wins, they're only going to be 1 point behind Ottawa for the 7th place.
That's crazy. And I saw some people speculate that that Florida was losing on purpose so they would face Toronto in the first round. Sorry, Jeff. We're turning this into hockey politics and hockey chat. All the things Jeff doesn't like to talk about.
I got Duplo. I'm okay. No, I'm making Yvonne jealous. I like the Duplo.
All right. I'll shut up. But David St. Cyr. You better come on if you want to talk smack, baby.
If David comes on, I'll let you guys talk hockey for 10 minutes. Sure. Not like you need my permission or anything. I'm just. Yeah.
Right.
Hey Matt, do you know where I'll be in May 19th to the 23rd? No. I'll be in Grand Rapids.
Ooh, well,
we're gonna have our national sales meeting for the company I'm working with. We have a factory in Belding, Michigan.
Okay.
And they decided to do our yearly meeting in presence in Grand Rapids.
I would give you all the exciting things to do in Grand Rapids, but it's a very short list.
They have a bricks and minifigs though.
Huh?
Grand Rapids has a bricks and minifigs from what I remember. Because that's Grand Rapids is pretty high up above Detroit, right? It's kind of more.
It's more
northern. Northwest, right?
It's a little bit further north.
Okay. The 75 goes from Chicago to Detroit. Is that right? Is that I-75?
94
or not whatever. Okay, but it's way west of that or way north of that. Yeah. Because that's the one bricks and minifigs I haven't been able to make it to going through Chicago, and I've always wanted to. But yeah, they have a bricks and minifigs, and I think they have a Lego store there too. I think
they do. I think it's recently opened. If you have time and you have a vehicle, if you want to go to the coast is quite pretty. So if you go out to Ludington or Muskegon,
we'll see. We're going to have our schedule in the next 2 weeks of what we're going to do. So for sure, I'm going to try to. If there's a Lego store close up, for sure I'll find some spare time. I'll skip a lunch to go there.
So Grand Rapids is not on the coast, but it's not far from the coast. So if you do have a vehicle that you can drive to the coast is beautiful.
I know one of the activities they told us we're going to do. It's an escape room, and then we should do also probably a fishing trip also. Because
and
one of the South, he's a fisherman and he likes fishing and he has his own boat, so he's supposed to arrange something that we all go fishing.
And if you look southwest of there's Holland, Michigan, which Jeff should go because that's where the Dutch who came to Michigan, they actually have a big tulip festival in the spring. And so it's more of a touristy town, frankly, than Grand Rapids is. So if you have the freedom, check out Holland or go to the Lake Michigan coast. Those are both far more fun places than Grand Rapids.
And if you want to go to the armpit of Michigan, which would be Hamilton, there's one of those there too. It's not getting any bigger, unfortunately. There's a Hamilton apparently.
Hamilton, and there's a Ottawa something. I've seen Ottawa something also just on your left.
So Michigan not only does
You
it have
zoom in.
those, it has in Atlanta, Michigan, which my friend's family had a cabin. There is Hell, Michigan, and there is North Pole, Michigan. So you send your letters to Santa to the North Pole. Literally, you can mail them to like North Pole, Michigan. They used to have like a service where like kids could mail their letters and like people would
Ottawa Beach.
mail
Sorry,
back.
but I saw it, Jeff, on the left of your screen. Ottawa Beach.
Ottawa
Yeah.
Beach. Yeah. Okay. Right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, Matt.
No.
So yeah, they definitely have
Bring
bricks and minifigs. I don't know what this other one is. I don't see. Oh, Lego store in Woodland Mall. Yeah. So
Yep.
right there, and then bricks and minifigs is like down the road.
and it's close to the airport. It's not that far from the airport. And
Yeah,
I'm
there's
staying
the-
one extra night. We said we can leave on the Thursday night, but I said I'm going to leave on the Friday. So I'm going to try to catch a flight like lunchtime and have
Yeah,
a few hours spare in the morning.
So, yeah. So that's kind of handy too. I'd always try to look for bricks and minifigs when you're down there. I mean, I don't know that you get any good deals on it, but I mean, it's still kind of a fun experience to go in and, you know, look at used Lego and stuff. And it's bigger than anything we have here for used Lego stores for sure.
And Etienne, I'm assuming you're flying there, not driving. Is that
No,
correct?
I'm flying. Yeah.
Because if you're driving, obviously you could stop at Detroit and check out their
Yeah.
Lego store. But yeah,
And the bricks and minifigs in Detroit too. I ran into Josh Hanlon at the bricks and figures Detroit.
oh yeah,
I went to Detroit 3 years ago. It was a few years ago. Detroit had moved the auto show to the summer,
yeah.
or to September, I think it was. So I went to the auto show because I like going to auto shows. It's fun. And we went there, and it happened to be the same weekend that Michigan was doing a Lego show that weekend. Like I got on a Thursday or Friday or something. So the Hanlons were in town to. I think it was the Brick World Michigan or whatever the one in that area did, Brick World Detroit. I forget what they called it. And so I walked to the Lego store, and I walk in, and Josh turns around. And I'm like, really? And he's like, oh god, because we had seen each other like 3 or 4 times already that year. And I mean, even on the way back, I didn't see him this year on the way back from Atlanta, but we went to the Bricks and Minifigs in, I think it was Kalamazoo or something like that, or Chattanooga. We went to the Bricks and Minifigs Chattanooga, and I get home, and like literally 2 days later, he posts the store tour of that same store, and I'm like, he's following me. But anyways, it was funny. So yeah, we've got 3 people. We had 4 people for a while in the chat. We've got 3 people. So, you know,
Scared a lot of people talking about
it's okay.
politics and sports.
You know what? Sometimes it's healthy to just vent. So that's what we did. But yeah. As for you guys, good with what you want to talk anything more about what you did this week or anything? If not, then I'll jump in.
Is this a bust?
Hey, Matt, guys, I forgot to say, you were saying I have something I'm keeping myself to build in the next few days. I forgot to show it, but
Ooh.
I find
The
Oh, did you-
invisible fire truck.
yeah, sorry, I can't show
Yeah.
it really, but there you go.
Oh, there you go. You got an angle of it for a split second there. Yeah, that Bricks and Minifigs fire truck.
There you go. Anyhow,
This is
know,
what. Yeah.
I got
Well,
a
there we got it
break-
right there, right there. Hold it. Oh, hold it down in your lap there. There you go. Because it thinks it's part of your body.
yeah, brand new from the States.
Nice.
Awesome.
Got it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Awesome.
So
I still have.
that's the baby I wanted for my collection, and got it.
I still have the. What 2 sets do I have? I still have the medieval village and the Tudor building that I haven't had a chance to even open. I haven't just no time. You know, power outages can do that to you, I guess, too. And not being home for like a week and stuff too. But yeah, we can. Sorry, yeah, I just realized that we were still full screening you.
Did anybody see the unveiling video of the set that they put on Instagram?
I saw. Yeah, you know what? We should find that.
It's funny because it's not effective.
I think I know Maticus had it, so I'm just gonna pull
Yes.
up him.
And I commented on it, and I'm like, obviously they didn't think this through.
So yeah, it's volume's not on, but it's like they pull the blanket back on this little tiny thing, and I think the room is pretty much dead. And just his face is just like, I didn't hear it with audio, but I'm assuming no one said anything. or it was very low.
It's so tiny. Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cute. It's this little tiny. Kids in the hall. I crush your Lego head. I crush your.
These are the days I know, and neither of them are here. Anyway, all right. I was when I got back on the weekend, I was Duplo building, trying to figure out curvatures for my Duplo truck, which I don't even have it on the table here because it's technically done. And I have to say, originally I was using wedge plates, and this is so much nicer because it's all smooth. There's no studs coming up. That's the wrong way. But I basically figured out the curvature of stuff. I've obviously future pictures. This is all nicely filled in. And here's the here's the one side all in gray. And then the other side, this one was a little more tricky. I've got one of the big wedge, big slopes here. Those 6x8 ones or 5x8 ones. You know what I mean? Because that piece is available in a one thick or one stud version, but I just didn't have it. And I got pretty close. Like I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I'm trying to figure out why I can't move. Oh, there we go. This was the hardest area in here, just because there's nothing between 33 degrees and 45 degrees. And then I realized the magical 53 degree weird brick with the studs on the side from like the 80s. I'll make myself a little bigger here.
It's gonna cost you a kidney.
Sorry, there we go. I have one left, so I've ordered 5 more.
What was the tongue in the puzzle connection and the thing that you?
Oh, you were looking at the actual picture. You weren't caring about. Okay, I thought you cared about this piece. What? Whereabouts?
The one that's like
this here.
That's got. It looks like a puzzle piece. How the puzzle piece, snaps in.
That's the Duplo track. This.
Oh, is that? I've never looked at Duplo.
Yeah, that's the Duplo. Hold on.
That's how they connect. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. See, here's.
I'm not a trained person, and I've never used Delco.
Well, and this is Duplo. It's not regular Lego. Here we go. See, it's got the.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, I did get my tiles in. Oh, that was an interesting thing. I was trying to figure out how to do the transition of the tiles here.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the tiles, even when you turn them, because I didn't have the 1x3s to test this with, even when you turn it sideways, they still match up pretty nicely.
Okay.
So I was worried about what am I going to put in that corner. Like I thought I'd have to put a 1x1 tile or something there. But it turned out I didn't. So, but yeah, so I've been working on the layout. So yeah, that 53 degree slope was enough to get in here with some interesting finagling to get almost a perfect curve. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining. I wish I could fill this in a bit, but it's as good as it gets, and I'm happy with that. And everything's snotted sideways except for these guys, which are the wedge tiles and the 45 degree tile. So I did a bit of a combination, but my goal was to make everything smooth, to make it I think I was using my mouse on the screen here versus the share screen. So my apologies for that. Talk about that area, but anyway. And then I got to zoom out again this way. Oh yeah, and there's another close up of the design area. So like I said, I was really happy how it came out. I spent this is basically the tree, the branches that had fallen in my property and that, so I'd taken them out. And then I started tiling over the rest of the layout or the rest of the area. And this is version 1. I've got a version 2 in here. Well, got a version 2 here. My neighbor's tree behind my house, where there's one sad limb that's just hanging here, barely attached. It's now fallen off because we got a windstorm a couple of days ago or yesterday, so it's gone. I don't know if I actually mentioned it while I was away. Did I mention about my receiver stand that it was falling apart?
No.
And I glued it together. I don't remember why. This was last week. I glued it together, and I put it back together, and I slid it back in the wall. So it's like just Ivar, same stuff I use here. And this angle is obviously warped now. Like the whole thing just looks like it's shimmied to the one side, and I'm like, it's solid. It's not moving, so I'm okay with it. But I'm like, Yeah. Anyways, the thing fell apart. Like the side mounts on the back on the other piece. These basically the tongue and groove into the wood came off. So I glued it back together, and I left it laying on the floor in my living room, assuming it would be, the floor is level enough to keep it level, and it now looks like this. So I might have to buy a new speaker rack at some point, or a new rack at some point.
Has everyone in your local community gotten their power back, or are there still pockets?
I think there's still a few pockets here and there. I haven't really looked since, but yeah. Anyway, I'm afraid to look. I think most of them people, at least locally in town, have it back, but there might be still pockets out in the burbs. I'm probably going to be buying a generator in the next year after what's happened, because it kind of makes sense. And
I have one in my garage, and my just in case. Never used it, but
well, yeah, but I mean,
because of what happened a few years ago, like exactly what happened in your town in Montreal a few years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, I would.
Jeff, I think it would be more on brand if you got a windmill set up in your backyard.
Powered by fiber optic.
But the windmill would ice up too, and then the blades would fall off, and so that wouldn't help either. That's just work stuff. So yeah, I got my Lego order in with my Duplo, which I showed earlier. But I was looking at when this receipt came in. I'm looking at the colors, and everything's got a shade of purple, and I'm like, because I pulled the paper out first, and I'm like, why is everything purple? Luckily, everything came in the right colors of gray, but
and you started worrying if you misordered the stuff.
Well, but I also thought, okay, I've seen printers print. One of their colors is starting to go, so it's now adding some purple in or whatever, I don't know what the color combination was, but I got all the parts, so I was happy. I had to buy a new.
I don't want to brag, Jeff, but I would say in every large bricks and pieces orders I've ever done, there's always that one part where I just click one into the basket and I meant to change it to 12.
Oh,
so when you get there, the quantity is like, I only got one of these.
I had ordered the Dark Azure minifig torsos, which I've used. Like I'm buying ivory solid colors so that I can build like space characters for them. But I usually order 11. Because I have like one of them's got like the red vest one, the classic space vest. I've got a sticker that's not red; it's just clear, so you can put it on any color. So I usually order 11 of them, and as I was pulling them out of the container, out of the bin here, I was counting. I'm like, I think I only ordered 10, and then all of a sudden I kind of saw an arm sticking out, and I'm like, yes, I did order 11. Then I checked the sheet, and I did. But before the power outage, I was having issues with my like when the fiber was being installed, I was having issues with my receiver. And like my computer is here and my receiver is attached to it. And occasionally when I'd be watching a show on my computer, the signal goes through the receiver up to the TV. And occasionally the screen would just go black for a second. The audio would continue, but then it'd come back. And I was always trying to figure out what was causing it. It's been bugging me for years. So finally I'm like, wait a minute, I can just plug the TV directly into the computer, not go through the receiver. I got the bell installed, and when I had unplugged, I just pulled the plug out of the wall. So everything, like my computer and that, the receiver, all of them just lost power at that point. When I plugged it back in, it was happening continuously, like black image. So I ended up just pulling the HDMI cable out of the TV, plugging it directly into the computer, and I'm like, oh, it's the receiver. So I buy a new receiver because why wouldn't I? We didn't have an ice storm, everything was good. Then the ice storm hits, and I've got a new receiver and nothing to watch it on because I didn't have electricity. I needed to order an adapter for the subwoofer because the subwoofer is wired, and receivers now use coax cable, or not coax cable, like the RCA type cable to plug in. So I ordered that piece right before the power went out. And it was delivered a few days later, and I happened to be home that day or the next day to pick it up. So I was able to get everything plugged in, but still didn't have power because I was home on the Tuesday to bring up my garbage. So I finally come home on the Friday, and I go to do the speaker test on the subwoofer, and it's silent. And I'm like, oh, what happened now? It turns out that I bought one of those home theater in a boxes last time around, so it was like all the speakers, the subwoofer. So the subwoofer is really low quality. It wasn't powered by an external power source. It was just getting the signal from the receiver. long story short, I had to buy a new receiver or a new subwoofer, like, which costs about the same amount as the receiver. So now I'm like double my price. I get this thing in. This is the subwoofer and the brick separator.
Woof woof.
It's 20 pounds of weights.
It looks like one of those refrigerators you'd see in a hotel room.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some foam in here, but yeah. So then I put it in. It's working now. It sounds great. I put it in, but it's like half the size of this unit.
Holy smoke!
I'm like, oh my god!
It's a unit.
It is. It's a big unit. Yeah. That's for my kid. So we have a family reunion on the 7th of June, and that's the day of my kid's last cadet event for the year. So I can't go to the family reunion, which I'm sad about because I do want to see my family, but at the same time, I don't have to drive to London, Ontario, or wherever it is. I don't have to drive for 2 or 3 hours to get to it. So,
So we have a family reunion in Illinois, and I have several Trumpy relatives, and I've thought about not going because I just don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
I think I would lose my tongue if I went to it this year, so I may not go.
Gotcha.
I would say something that might lead to them to unfriending me or something.
Yeah. See the latest AI announcements from Google Cloud Next 25. Oh, I didn't know what that was, but anyway. All right, we'll jump into the news now. Not a lot of news. We maybe have 10, 15, well, probably 10 tabs. First up, we have some Lego Ideas stuff. An Apple Store. Matt, you can go here to get your phone. An Apple Store has hit the milestone. This is by Truman Bricks.
Will it really hit it got the 10,000 mark, but I don't think it's going to get on the shelf.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, this is one time where Lego could go digital, and I would be happy if they would sell us a tiny micro iPhone. It'd be awesome.
Well, there will be, if this set gets produced, there will be little phones that won't look like iPhones, probably. But Truman Bricks. Once again, I've seen his name a few times. Built this. The build features a typical layout of an Apple Store with a number of Apple products displayed, but not enough people in the store. There should be about 1,000 people in the store. Am I wrong?
I haven't been to an actual store in quite a while.
No, that's the Apple Store after Terrace.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know that this would get built. I mean, they'd have to do a deal with Apple and stuff, and
well, it's small build though. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool looking store. I've never seen a 2-story Apple Store.
I like the little mosaic in the second story on the wall. It's it's
pretty interesting. So, and I mean, we have all the phone tiles, we have the headphone tiles. So I mean, it's a good idea. It's got little computers in here too and stuff. So,
well, they're definitely.
Fun fact out of Legos: do you know that all the glass for the Apple stores in North America are made in Ontario?
There you go.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Oh, all the glass, like the screen glass.
No, all the glass for the building itself. Clear glass. They called it the Apple. They have a special clear glass for the Apple stores.
Like in the store. So even the malls have a special glass?
Yep.
Why?
Ultra clear. They call it the diamond clear finish glass.
Just so that you don't even know it's there and you smack up against it.
No, it's just because it's if you put a regular glass, you would put the thickness of the glass they use.
Yeah.
Glass is kind of greenish in it.
Yeah, okay.
And if you put more layers over on top of each other, it'll come up as a 7-Up bottle. So Apple, with the manufacturer, developed a glass that is clear diamond glass, which is brighter than white.
There you go.
Did not know that.
Is that why Apple stores always look so bright? I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier Google. Sorry, deal with it.
I'm not Apple. Don't worry. I'm.
Fair enough. Okay, next up, the Studio Ghibli. Also, I hit 10K this week. This is by Jan's SX, or Jan RSSX. The build features a number of scenes from the Studio Ghibli movies, including Nazca of the Valley of the Wind. Nazca of the Valley of the Winds, Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, I knew that one, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Porco Rosso, and Ponyo. Forgive me if I mispronounce some of those. So I only recognize a few of them personally. I haven't had a chance to go through the Disney Studio Ghibli library. One of these years I will do that, but personally haven't had a chance to yet. A couple shots of it here from the backside.
That's good. That's cute.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
So-
I've never watched any of the Studio Ghibli, but it looks like a cool design. Like,
Yeah.
it even as a non-Ghibli consumer, I might be tempted to buy something like this.
Yeah, there's some interesting structures in the build.
Just a dragon. I like the dragon.
Yeah, the dragon's pretty cool. So, all right, next up, this one to me is I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I would never buy it. But anyways, Lego Ideas Periodic Table of Elements. This is by Darkenstein. The feature, well, Stein is brick in German. Drakenstein. Anyways,
Is it really?
Yeah, Stein is stone, which is what they use to describe
Okay.
Lego pieces. They call them stones.
Okay.
The set features 118 printed 4x4 tiles, color to sort them out into the alkaline metals, alkaline earth metals, alkali, sorry, not alkaline, transitional metals, post-transitional metals, metalloids, non-metals, halogens, noble gases, lanthanum, and so on and so forth. So when you look at the side of this thing, it's basically like a frame and some tiles on it. And I'm like, and knowing they're 4x4 tiles, and there's a little tiny minifigure in the corner here, I'm like, I don't know that this would be something that would sell. I mean, people that are into sciences and chemicals and
Maybe
periodic tables, sure.
I'm going to disagree. Because there's
It's
like
a great learning opportunity too, though. So.
Because there's a whole thing about how do you arrange them. There's different ways of displaying a periodic table, and I think for like chemistry nerds, like they would get it and play around and make it different distributions. I actually think that this would be very popular for students, for teachers. I could see this actually selling surprisingly well. Although you can only do a limited number of things with it, but I think like tapping into that like science community. I think you see people here in our Atlanta lug. We have a woman who teaches high school science, and she all her Lego builds have some like little science aspect or twist in it.
All right,
I think she would eat this up. That's just
okay. Well, I mean, I stand corrected. I to me it was like it's a bunch of printed tiles that I would never use, other than to maybe rearrange them to try and form funny words. But.
I mean, I get which it's a niche product, but I think it's also a product that lots of nerdy people would embrace. So even though it's very niche, I could see it actually selling surprisingly well.
All right.
Well, why not? You know, they're making puzzles.
Yeah.
So why not making that periodic table? You're right, Matt. Actually.
Mm-hmm. And it has aluminum on it.
Yeah.
Just. I'm trying
the thing is, the 118 tiles printed tiles.
Yeah.
They'll have to sell a lot, though.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I mean, they wouldn't sticker that, because imagine having to put 118 stickers on perfectly.
You'd go nuts.
And it's like, oh no, I put the sticker on the wrong tile.
But I will point out, like the typewriter set has, you know, they had like the custom printed each round tile had the letter of the alphabet.
Yeah.
Like, and they printed those just for the typewriter.
But that was like 26 versus 118.
True. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, from a science point of view, I guess I can see that, you know, being very interesting, or being possibly a good seller. But I don't think they would do it just even for the printing fact of it. But I could be wrong. All right.
The other thing about the science thing, last thing, is that, you know, that table with the letters is like really translates across languages, right? So no matter what language you speak, if you learn the periodic table, you learn the little letter identifiers, and some of them are based on English, and some are based on Latin, and some are based on various languages. So I think even though it would entail a cost, I think it would actually cross a lot of cultural boundaries. I think it would sell probably really well in Europe. you know, certain cultures. Like, I just think that I think it could be a surprisingly good seller. Right. Now watch, they'll make it and it'll sell terribly and I'll be wrong. But
yeah, well, I mean, it'll sell terribly maybe in the Lego community for the most part, but like you said, it's something that might not be geared towards us. So
yep,
not as much, at least not the non-scientists of us type thing. All right. Timeless Creations, Lego Ideas has also created a new contest called Timeless Creations Building Contest. So this is where you build something ordinary that can be displayed for years, and it could be a benefit, or it could become an official set. So taking the inspiration from older Lego Ideas sets like the typewriter, the Polaroid, and the globe, obviously. Lego wants you to build an object that is iconic but is very recognizable and timeless. Finalists will be chosen for a fan vote in late May, and the winning build will be announced in September. So as if you're chosen, you get 1% of the net total sales of the product, 10 complimentary copies of the product. I wonder if you get the 1% from those 10 sets as well, maybe. Credit and a bio and the Lego Ideas fan designers in the set material. So entries that are selected to participate in the fan vote but are not fan vote winners will receive the grand piano, the Polaroid, and the retro radio sets. So if you want to build something that's timeless or something from the old days.
There's a guy in Kellogg a few years ago built that portable cassette.
Walkman?
The Walkman, yeah, the Walkman. Yeah.
I want to build
we had a contest with our things from our past when we were kids. Yeah, okay. I built a Nintendo before Lego built one.
Okay, yeah.
I built a Nintendo NES, the 21-bit, within like 3 hours, and it was the first time I did a mock in the contest, and I finished second, and that guy beat me because of the Walkman.
Well, there you go. I mean, I just thinking I would build one of those the old credit card input machines.
Okay.
Because no one would know what that is except for the people that actually worked retail or had a credit card back then. Yeah, anyway.
I was an old telephone with the wheels and numbers and...
Yeah, well, yeah, the old photo. Yeah, we talked about it on Old Gray Bricks as well, and there were some interesting ideas. Like grandfather clock was one of the ones that was interesting. But that would be huge, obviously, too, right? So there is no size limit on this. So it is actually an ideas set because apparently there's not enough people submitting ideas and not enough of a backlog of idea sets to. Anyway, just
so my suggestion was the old like 1980s Bell. In the U.S. it was Bell telephone where it sets on the cradle and it has like the wire.
Yep.
But kids would be like, what?
Well, I mean, this is to get the adults or this to get the nostalgia factor back in, right?
Yeah.
But lava lamp. No, anyway.
This black one right here. I think every house in the U.S. had one of these black phones when I was growing up. So.
Yeah, we did too. All right. Next up, Lego has opened a state-of-the-art factory in Vietnam. So the Lego Group has officially opened their newest factory in Vietnam. The state-of-the-art factory is the 6th factory in the world and their most environmentally sustainable factory. Lego manufacturing in Vietnam will run on 100% renewable energy in 2026 by using 12,400 solar panels. Oh, wow. And until then, it's just going to be a bunch of people that are like walking on treadmills or bikes to power the place, I guess. Sarcastically, of course. There's
pedal faster.
So yeah, that just popped up in the news today, so I thought it was interesting because hey, another factory, awesome. There's also a build Barnes & Noble US, so Matt, spring building event that's happening May 2nd to the 4th, which is obviously in a couple of weeks or in a month from now. It looks like a little flower pot with a bee and a flower, kind of cute.
The only thing that tempts me are those 2 plant parts. Like I would be like, ooh, plant.
Yeah, but you can just buy those on bricks and pieces. You don't have to.
For the most part, like the white, I'm just like they're just
bricks. Well, they're the longer curve slope. That's kind of, but yeah. Anyways, it's just another way to get some parts and stuff. So build your collection, I guess. There is a limited availability, so you also have to talk to the associate or call the store to reserve a spot for the event or however the store is doing it. I have heard of previous events that have happened in the States where people have showed up and they're like, yeah, we don't even have the thing in, like, they don't even have the product to build or whatever. I know, I think Emmasaurus, I think she went to one and they were doing a totally different event instead of a Lego building event or something. So yeah, call your store definitely and make sure that they're doing it and when they're doing it.
I went to one store and they didn't have like the little like the little set,
Yeah.
but they were like, hey, we need to build a model for the store. Do you want to build the U.S. Capitol building? And I was like, sure. You know, they're like, you can't take it home, but like, we need it built. So I was like, sure. So me and this other person, only 2 people showed up. So 2 of us split it up and we built it. And I liked it so much, I bought it from my office. So
Paul has dropped in some Vietnamese, I believe it is. Not sure what that says. Hopefully it's nothing bad, because then we'll get, demonetized. No, anyway. I think that's Vietnamese, but anyways. Maybe that was from the article that I missed, or the city where it is or something. But hi, Paul. Welcome. Someone's in our chat. No, 9 people watching now. Now that we've gotten into the news and we're not talking about other stuff anymore. All right. Lego Master Academy has been announced for the Lego House. I haven't actually read this article yet, but this is starting in September 2025 in the Bill in Denmark. So Lego has announced that there will be a new Lego Master Academy experience at the Lego House starting September 17th. Visitors can now try a new hands-on experience as if you were on the show. Lego Master Academy will have an authentic studio setting, and you can build through 4 levels of hosted sessions. I'm assuming there's probably going to be a sign-up type thing for this, but it actually looks pretty cool. Looks looks similar to a studio, like the US studio at least, with exception of the parts being right there on the wall. But I might actually be able to see this if I'm there at the right time. We'll see. So I'm just trying to see if there's any more information here about anything. I don't really see that in here, but yeah. I'm currently planning to be in Billund during the Lego Fan Media weekend / Scareback, but I'm not going to actually join the fan media stuff because, well, I can't. I don't think. But anyway, okay. Lego Star Wars May the 4th live stream has been announced. I think it's this week, April 15th. Okay, so next week, 9th, in next Tuesday. So we'll have new stuff to talk about on Wednesday if it doesn't get leaked already, or if we haven't talked about it today. So Lego Star Wars May the 4th live stream to reveal the epic new set will be held on April 15th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. 8:30 a.m. Pacific. There will also be chances for Lego insiders to win Lego Star Wars bundle, as well as a £500 gift card. You can watch the live stream here, or €500, I guess that was, sorry, which is the same page as last year's event. What do you think the set will be? Hey, Matt, do you know what the set's going to be? What big set? You're muted, by the way.
I've heard rumors that it's the blue Jango Fett version of the Slave One, aka spaceship.
Jango's Slave One. Interesting. Okay.
But in the purple tones.
Yeah.
Dark blue.
Yeah. Jango's versus Boba's, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the rumor I've heard. Now I haven't really kept up with it, so.
Yeah, and we'll continue with the rumor talk in a few minutes because I've heard a few Star Wars things rumored as well. The Lego Group has been named the most reputable. I almost said repulsive or something. I don't know what I was going to say. Reputable company for a 3rd year in a row. No surprise there. And no, David Sincere, this isn't something you can vent about because it's not talking about their quarterly results or yearly results. The Lego Group has been named the most reputable. Let's see, I got it right that time. Company in the world for a 3rd year in a row by RepTrack. It's also the 5th time in the last 6 years that Lego has been at the top spot. Wow, there was a year where they weren't.
Who was there? Who was first?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Lego has claimed the top spot in the following top ranking: 2021, 23, 24, and 25. Well, who was 22?
Who was 22?
Well, clearly it was Megabox.
Obviously.
I doubt.
Well, now I want to know. Global Rep Talk 100 Survey 2022. Now I have to Google it. Darn it. Why am I getting stuff about grandma code on? What is going on with that?
We don't want to know what you're
why
searching
did
for now.
your girlfriend watch something?
No, not on here.
Search for something.
She used your laptop when you weren't looking.
Yeah.
No, she has her own. 2022. What's number one? Just give me the Rolex.
Rolex.
That's not a
Ferrari.
toy.
It's not toys. This is just global brand.
Oh, brands. Gotcha. Okay.
Rolex, Ferrari, Lego.
IKEA 52. Lego. Oh, wow.
I guess.
Harley
I can
Davidson.
see that.
Mercedes. PayPal.
Look at the extra research I brought into this. Anyway.
That's why people
Thanks,
tune
Jeff.
in for the extras.
They come for the extras. Lego Creator. So currently the Lego has a gift of purchase available of the Little Creator Easter Egg Chick Painting Fun. I'm pretty sure you can probably buy this in Walmart. I'm pretty sure. I don't know that I've seen it yet, but
I haven't seen. I haven't won in Walmart.
No, I haven't either for a few weeks. So Lego started another Easter promotion with the Creator Easter Egg Chick Painting Fun poly bag. From now until April 13th, you can get this. So this is good for another 5 to 4 days. You can get this with the purchase of $40 or more while supplies last. It is stackable with the Smeagol and Daigle set, which is no longer available. It is also stackable with the current the little boat or the little ticket booth for the wheelhouse, the boat with the steamboat powered thing. Yeah, what's that called? Steamship?
Yes. Mississippi Steamboat.
Yeah, steamboat. Thank you. I knew it. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, which is surprisingly, yeah. So even when was this announced? April 3rd. So this is 4 days ago. But they're even saying the Lord of the Rings Shire set, a gift for purchase, was still available back then. So yeah, okay. Next up, this one was just something I saw. I'm a puzzle fan, and especially Lego puzzles. So this one has been Brickset has the. I'll just go back a page. Brickset has the latest sets added type thing. So I've just got a search for 2025, and we can see. Oh, spoiler! We can see some of the sets that have been added or updated. And I noticed this one, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's a colorful puzzle. So 1,000 pieces, which isn't too bad." So I just thought I'd talk about it here because no one has announced it or mentioned it. So
the blue butterfly. Yeah, the blue butterfly that's in the center is in that insect set.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because I built that. It's beautiful when it's put together.
I'm assuming there isn't a purple one in that same set.
No, there were 3 different animals. So one was a butterfly, and then the other one was like a crane.
It looks like they've just recolored the butterfly a few times and obviously the botanicals and stuff as well. So, but yeah, I like the look of it. I think it's pretty interesting. So I thought I'd share that. Okay, the news sets for this week for today were the mini busts collection set announced by Lego. So we have the Iron Man Mark IV bust and the Iron Spider-Man bust. These are releasing on August 1st. They are available for pre-order today. Iron Spider has 379 pieces, retailing for $59.99 US. I think it's $79.99 Canadian. Iron Man will be releasing on June 1st and has 436 pieces for the same price. So it's got more pieces than Iron Man. To me, the Spider-Man looks like it's more detailed, I have to say. Maybe just because it has the Iron Spider arms here.
The arms look weird to me. I don't know. I'm
like these.
Yeah, I'm not buying either one of them, and I think the Iron Man at least looks more attractive to me personally. But
yeah, and I was watching I think Jane reviewed this or talked about it today, and the stand is a big chunk of it, right? Like. Yeah, and I get it's supposed to be up on a stand of sorts, but on Spider-Man it doesn't look too bad because his logo drops down so much. But on Iron Man, I think there's more pictures down below. I mean, Spider-Man looks awesome. I have to say, like the printing, even the way they made the lines actually match up with the Lego lines here. I think that was a really good choice. That they basically just brought it to the actual line of the piece. But yeah, when we get down to Iron Man, okay, soon. Eventually. Well, there's the Spider-Man. Oh, yeah. Someone had said it had printed arms. I read someone on Instagram said, oh my God, this thing has printed arms, but it doesn't.
All lies. It's all lies.
Oh, maybe they were just BSing or trying to make a point. Yeah, so the Iron Man bust itself here, because this is open, all you see is the bust, or all you see is the stand. And while I have been known to buy the Iron Man mask that when it came out a while back, and this one is kind of appealing to me, I don't know. I'm not going to keep it together. Like, I'm going to build it and then take it apart, and I'm not really going to display it necessarily. I don't know. Does this appeal to either of you guys?
I'm not into the bust anyway, so.
Okay. Gotcha. You're not a bust. You're not a bust guy. Gotcha.
Nope.
He's more other body parts, apparently.
Yeah. Well, we know Matt's not a bust guy. That's a different story. But are you interested in either of these?
Well, if I would have to buy one, probably the Iron Man though.
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, you see the bottom, the black, and the interior, but I don't know. That's something that I'm not interested in the Spider-Man. I don't know why.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's more complex, probably because of all the different colors. But it also looks very simple. Like when you look at it, it's like, okay, that's like what 6, 7, 8 pieces were there. Like this is a 300 piece set. This is a 400 piece set. So financially, you'd want to go this way, right? Because it's more parts per piece. I don't know. It depends also if Iron Man's a special print or not. If that's a new Mark IV print, because that would cause people to buy it more. I don't know if anybody's actually said that. Well, there's no review on this yet. But anyways, that's the new set for this week, or new sets. All right. I did want to bring note onto the creator set of Our Dreams 11040 Magical Transparent Box, because it's got like such beautiful transparent parts in it tonight. This is on my want list now. As soon as I saw this article, actually before I saw this article, but
this screams parts draft to me. Like I would love to be in a parts draft. I'm gonna pitch it locally. But if I went to a convention, I would be like, let's everybody bring one copy of the set. And so if you are after the trans yellow, or you want to target the trans blue, or the like you can go for the color tones that you want. Yep. And I'm very intrigued by the trans arch. Like we've never had that, I don't think.
Yeah, agreed. So the price of this set is $30 Canadian. So it's reasonable. How many pieces? $340, and it's $30 Canadian. 340 parts, sorry. So parts per piece is less than 10 cents. And considering that they're all transparent, I mean there's a few non-transparent pieces, but
it won't stay long on the shelves.
I don't know.
I think people are gonna buy copies and copies of it.
Yeah. So of the 43 translucent elements, 16 are either new molds or recolors. So there's the first one being the inverted 45-degree slope in yellow, red, and blue, or in light blue. And I mean, they go over and actually show the differences as well in all the parts. This one I love, the 1x2 with the stud on the side. I mean, the amount of like, you want clear bricks so that people don't notice things, but then you can have arms coming off. You can have your little figures on them too.
That screams that thing that shall not be named. That involves.
Oh yeah. The little this guy I used in my castle for so much. I should do a clear castle wall.
And show the interior of the golf.
Because people have been asking for that. Like, I'd love to be able to see right through. But the problem is, like, I don't want to take a wall off my castle, right?
Right.
But I mean, you wouldn't be able to see through this either necessarily. So, like when it's bricks upon bricks. But anyways, I just thought that just popped in my head. So 8 of these guys, again, they're showing the print. So a lot of the pieces don't have the interlockings that like the inner stud points, which is good because that means you can basically slide this anywhere on a single stud you want. These guys, the 2x4 bricks in transparent light blue, is that pink or it's dark pink? I thought that was dark red or red earlier, but it's pink. Pink, clear, and trans light blue. I mean, that alone, transparent clear bricks are just the ones I have all look like this. They're not quite clear.
The older ones.
Yeah. The arches as we've mentioned. The new curved 1x2 slope here. New because it's a plate shorter in the Translite Blue. So Waterfalls, Jeff, if you're watching, Waterfalls, because he was working on some Waterfalls this week. And
Don't
then
go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing.
Yeah, and then there's the inverted version of that curve. One by brick, and there's a 2x2 and a 2x4 version. 2x2 bricks in Translite Blue, dark pink slopes. Again, showing the differences. 1x4 clear brick, which is more of a rare element. And then, like I said, some other colors. There's some butter yellow and the light blues and white as well. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much to me. This is just like I need to add something to my cart to bring me up an extra $20 or so. So I get that gift of purchase. I'll buy a bunch of these, right? And that's interesting. There's kind of an arena element here. I don't know that I've seen that before. Is that like I don't know what that is. Is that? I can't zoom in on that, can I? No. This guy here. I don't know that I've seen that before. It's not the Sonic ring. It almost looks like a finger ring or something, or maybe it's to hang things on. I don't know. Never seen it. And that is the news. So yeah.
Very quiet.
Yeah, it's been quiet. I mean, obviously, we're Star Wars will be next week. We'll have lots of new Star Wars. So, well, I mean, we can talk about as well the rumors that we've heard. Like, so we've heard the Star Wars rumors. Like I've heard Chopper from I can't think of the show name. You know what I mean. You know who Chopper is. If you're Star Wars Rebels, thank you. Yes, Chopper is coming out, which that's on my list for sure. I have R2 and 3PO. I need Chopper. Also known as the Murderer. Yesterday I was at Cadets with my seeing my son because he's out there and stuff, and his commanding officer, the adult that runs the local cadet thing, he's a Star Wars Lego fan.
Okay,
and so we started chatting. He's like, "Oh yeah, the first thing I'm going to buy is the Murderer," and I'm like. And I looked at Thomas, and Thomas looks at me, my son, and we're like, "What?" And he's like, "Chopper." I'm like, "Oh, okay," because he's insane. Okay, now I understand, right? Like, or maybe he's a psycho killer or something like that. But we could probably build the Mega Block Canadian Tire ice truck with these new transparent parts. I don't know that I've ever seen the entire ice truck. I'll be honest, but interesting. Yeah, I mean, just those transparent parts are just going to be awesome for so much things. So yeah, Chopper. There was a leak for Germany for I forget which website that had the U-wing for Star Wars, which is based on Andor Season 2, which is coming out shortly.
I just kind of assumed that was actually already officially announced. I didn't realize it was just a leak.
Well, I haven't seen it anywhere, like on any of the websites. I've seen it on Instagram.
Got it.
And I think there was another set too. I forget what it was for Star Wars. I don't know if you've heard, Matt. And then the Django set you were saying.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember. I have been there's been a lot of other news that's been distracting me, so I kept up with the Lego.
I figured you might were trying to escape that stuff by, but
yeah,
I hear you.
well, yeah.
It's hard to escape it.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
My distraction lately has been the hat culture, so I've been spending more time on the hat website.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, so and then I don't want to know what he was doing there. I don't know. Actually, I just start.
Yeah, I've hit the side of my computer, so.
Oh, okay.
Laptop.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then there's other sets. I'm trying to think what it was now. I have to go back to Instagram and refresh my memory. I'm going to do that off screen though, because again, I don't want to.
We don't want to see what your grandma thinks you're researching.
Yeah, that's why he's getting.
I don't get what that is.
Ads. That's why he's not showing up.
I'm trying to think what it could be.
You look something for your.
Don't let your son use your computer anymore.
Yeah, tell me about it. There's ideas or a possibility of a brickhead pack for Star Wars for Revenge of the Sith.
Yawn.
Anakin, Obi-Wan, Padme, General Grievous, Mace Windu, and Palpatine. The U-Wing I already talked about. Hogwarts Express bookends apparently for Harry Potter.
I've seen that.
Okay.
Rumored.
Oh, this one I thought was interesting. Actually, this one I can kind of share because it's just like none of these have pictures, but medieval Horse Knights Castle with 2 new factions, and based on the description, this is just a drawing. This isn't what they actually look like, but it would be like a shield with a horse on it and a faction with a snake.
Ooh,
I'm like,
I like the horse one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is not this is just someone's recreation based on the description they heard. There's apparently some Nike products, which we had heard that they had signed a deal with Nike, or Nike.
Nikkei in Greek.
But I'm looking at this going, okay, there's 3 different sets, a 1,180 piece, a 809 piece, and a 454 piece set. I'm like, okay, obviously these are probably all going to be shoes, because what else do they make? And why do we need 3 different shoes of 3 different sizes?
Oh, there's a whole sneaker culture that.
Oh no, granted. I'm just more saying, like, what else does
Nike? Have you ever went to the Nike store in New York, in downtown Manhattan?
Have I been in New York downtown? No.
Although
I've been there when I was younger, and you when you enter the Nike store, it's there's TV all over for all their major athletes they're financing, and they have shoes from all different ages and sports.
Do they make anything besides shoes and apparel?
Well,
like they make clothing and shoes. I don't think they're going to put
sports apparel, sports equipment. Sports equipment.
Okay.
So,
I don't know,
but probably shoes. It's very collectible items.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is the Adidas set that came out did not sell well.
Okay.
It got marked down. So that's
maybe this is the other shoe, the other side. So you can have an Adidas shoe and that'd be funny if they did that.
I didn't find it good. I didn't like it.
Okay.
The Adidas?
No.
Or maybe.
I don't know.
I'm just being hypothetical here. Maybe if you buy the $99 shoe, you can buy the $69 shoe and make the other side because you buy one more expensive, you get the extra parts that will go with the other. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get
trying hard.
I don't get the shoe thing, but anyways, that's just me.
There might be doing something with the athletes or they're sponsoring or something.
They're also saying that this site is also saying that no more Monkey Kid in sets in 2026. So Monkey Kid might be
I like Monkey Kid.
Yeah, I think the sets are pretty cool. New Wicked sets coming out as well. Looks like 6 or 7 Wicked sets in September. Okay. I haven't watched
a movie yet.
I haven't watched it either.
I think they're just ugly sets. Like I don't find them attractive at all. Like I'm not at all tempted to buy them.
Well, because they're purple and green themed, right? So it's like parts that we don't build that much with.
You know me, I like weird parts, but I just don't think the sets are attractive to look at. Like there's nothing in a Wicked set. All the Wicked sets that came out, I'm like ugly. Just
okay.
Like they don't use the color wheel appropriately. Like purple and dark green don't match. They're not across each other in the color wheel. Like,
so they're clashing colors. Isn't that kind of the idea though too?
So that's why they're wicked.
Yeah.
They're wicked enough. I don't want them on my house.
There's a rumor of an Arkham Asylum 18+ set in September for $300 US. I could see that being interesting. Another family sub theme set. So going with the Our Family mosaic and the airplane of the Places of the World set for 3,000 piece set.
They don't need another set that sells as terribly as that.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering that. I want a Lego shoe I can wear. Well, Adidas was selling Lego shoes until recently. I don't know. I'm assuming they're no longer selling them. I have a pair of Adidas Lego shoes.
Me too.
All the ones I find are size 9. Okay. Yeah, so I'm assuming that those are discontinued now, and that maybe Nike will pick up the Lego shoe idea. So Holiday AT-AT in October with the exclusive TIE fighter or something. The previous rumors turned out to be inaccurate, so yeah, I don't know.
I already bought the big expensive AT-AT, so I can't really imagine buying it.
Well, this is an $80 AT-AT, so I mean, it's not going to be.
Okay.
Small.
I could just build a hat for it out of red bricks.
There's rumor of a Death Star plus a gift of purchase of the TIE Fighter as well.
Oh, that's been confirmed.
Well, it hasn't been officially confirmed, but
no, but it's happening.
Yeah, no one's seen pictures of it, I don't think.
No pictures, but it's on the way. It's coming.
Yeah. May the 4th live. Oh, Krusty Burger from The Simpsons.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Simpson fan, so that would be awesome.
Officer Lou, Sideshow Bob, Jeremy Friedman.
I like Krusty
Lisa Bart Homer.
on the left.
I want Sideshow Bob minifig just to park in some mock at a convention and see.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Cruella DeVille's car, 378 pieces. Kind of interesting.
Ooh, that picture looks sexy. I'm not a car guy, but that looks really cool.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it looks. I probably won't be a Speed Champion set.
But car is not purple. Wasn't it black?
I don't know. I think sometimes they had it purple just so you could see it in the dark or whatever, but I don't know, to be honest with you.
It's the cartoon version.
Upscaled Santa minifig for about $60, $50 to go with the other ones. Which I'm looking at this picture, and I know this is just someone's representation of it, but if he's holding a candy cane, it better have the loop on the end, because this is just like he's holding a red and white barber pole. Anyway,
the crook.
So Hogwarts sets, they're talking about a herbology class coming out. So this goes on to the bigger castle, like they're doing segments of the castle now. This is obviously a mock. Then there's also the main tower as well. So this was the interesting one. The prize machine there will be announced as a June release. And I don't know. I'm assuming that these are not the figures. Like they had said they were going to choose one torso for Classic Space, and now I'm seeing a teal and a gold. And I'm like, are there going to be two? Am I going to have my work cut out for me before Brickmany? Because I have to update my mosaic. But yeah, and there's supposed to still be another castle figure, right? So 6 minifigures: Fabuland, Paradisia, Pirates, an Ideas minifigure with an Ideas logo, plus 2 more. So they did say they were going to put a castle in, so that leads me to believe it's going to be a color, but we don't know which one, right? And I don't know. So not official yet. Recreations. Oh, this is the nostalgia thingy. 23 new Ninjago sets for 2026. Dreams will get more sets in 2026 as well. Only in the first half, not in the second half. 2025 summer sets will be revealed May 2nd, so that's in a month from now. Birthday numbers gift with purchase. So just numbers. I guess you could stick this in a cake.
I think so.
But I wouldn't want to stick Lego in a cake, just kind of saying.
You get to lick off the frosting, it'd be great.
You get to lick off the frosting. This is true.
Got to clean them after.
Or you can forget, and then the frosting can be stuck in your Lego bricks forever. May the 4th
getting crackles.
They stick together that better with the sugary frosting.
They're going to be glued together.
May the 4th gift with purchase a Camino KE8 Enforcer ship, 190 pieces, with 3 clone minifigures in red uniforms. So this is the gift for purchase to go with maybe Boba Fett's or Jango Fett's ship, which would make sense. Jango Fett was on Camino.
Yep.
So that could tie in. I haven't actually seen the Jango Fett article. Oh, I would never talk about this. The spring minifigure selection is up. I don't think we talked about that last week. Oh, maybe we did, because I remember we saying meh. Or maybe that was in our chat. I don't remember. But anyways.
Just the doctor.
New Lego Friends set June 1st. A couple of them. Pool Party with Unicorn and Flamingo and Plant Cafe. And another direct-to-consumer set in June for $100. Arctic Explorer Train. This is City. 1,500 pieces, about 200 US, June 1st. Set. So it's June 1st / August 1st, because sometimes the North American market gets it 2 months later, most of the times. Set includes a train with a single car and an icebreaker at the front. Train can be connected to a remote control.
Interesting.
Excuse me, sorry. I have some gas here.
Is it going to have like a snowplow front? That would
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
It emerges from a tunnel in a snowy mountain cliff with a waterfall, with a play feature where boulders can fall onto the train. Well, that doesn't sound great. The set also includes railroad track, a small loading station with rail cart, and a small loader vehicle.
Interesting.
What kid doesn't want to like knock the train over with a boulder?
Oh, I know.
Come
I'm just
on,
saying.
that sounds amazing.
Lego Icon Sherlock Holmes Book Nook, June 1st. Includes
$120. It better be amazing.
Yeah.
No, you actually open it up and it's only got one piece in it, and you got to figure out where all the other parts are. No.
By logic.
I don't like the Harry Potters, but that one.
Yeah, September 25. 3,200 piece Hogsmeade Village could be interesting.
That could be interesting in the Christmas tree under Christmas village under the Christmas tree.
Just a picture of a Captain America with a jetpack on his back. Okay. Those figures. Here, UCS Death Star, $1,000 US, which is nothing because we've already got $1,100 Canadian sets. But anyway, 38 minifigures, October 1st, 9,000 pieces. The Icon Shuttle, Space Shuttle Discovery, and 747.
So it's going to be the other one. It's going to be close to 1,500.
Which one? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, probably. Well, 1,250 depends on.
Depends
which. We're not even going there. Yeah, depending on where the parts are made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So May 15th release for this. So we should be a lot of these sets we should be hearing about in the next month. The City Advent Calendar has apparently already got leaked images, and I love the Christmas tree figure.
Yes.
I want this so bad, so I'll be getting the City Advent Calendar. The other two.
And I will say rarely do City Advent calendars have anything in there that makes me must buy, but that might be a must buy. Yeah,
we're all going to spend the $40-$50. Well, I don't know how much they are in the States, $30 maybe, to get a Christmas tree. And then Lord of the Rings stuff. Oh, this still hasn't come out as an insider set. Or a gift of, wait, maybe this is I'm seeing the insiders here. Maybe it's not a gift of purchase. Maybe it's an insider point thing. Oh, crap. I've been waiting for. I thought this one was cute too, so I've been waiting for it to be available as a gift of purchase. So I have like the $200 worth of parts to order, and I haven't been doing it. Now I have to look quickly here in the reward center to see the Lego Micro Command Center is still available. Yeah, I don't see it here. So, anyway, maybe that's an upcoming thing, but. I assumed it was a gift of purchase, and then we've gotten to some of the older news. Star Wars logo. Oh yeah, this is the other one. Star Wars logo, 700 pieces. So we've got the Marvel logo. We've got the Star Wars logo now.
I mean, if it's really cool, I could fall for that because I have all the Star Wars in my office. But it sounds like a yawn, just the description.
Oh, here we go. New Jango Fett.
Wonder what set that could come in.
I don't know.
Furious.
A Praetorian Guard, Juggernaut. Oh, these are from the magazines. Anyways, I think we're. Oh, another May the 4th gift of purchase, $160 threshold. Boba and Clone Cadet build will be a Republic escape pod.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now here we go. Here's UCS Jango Slave 1, which is not going to be called that. Star Wars logo, Jango Fett helmet as well. Buildable chopper, Luke Skywalker brickhead, pilot, Star Wars gift of purchase, mid-size Kylo Ren shuttle, Kylo Ren helmets, the U-Wing with K2SO and D-Drum Imperial.
I will say I'm hopeful that they keep making the helmet series in Star Wars because I bought every one of them. I like the helmets.
Fair enough. And I think that's pretty much, yeah. Anyway, so that for the record, ITAVIX Bricks _Bricks is the guy on Instagram who's currently posting all this leaked information. Now, none of the images are leaked images. It's just like here's the news we're hearing. So this is probably available on some websites here and there, just wherever they're getting it from. So, I don't think Lego can shut them down for doing that, but But yeah, I don't know. I just ran out of steam. Anyway, so yeah, I want to look at shit. Yeah, I already posted that up. So, yeah, so quiet night for new news. That's why I thought, oh, we can talk about those rumors for now. I mean, I've heard also that the Speed Champions, when they come out, they'll be not Indy or not F1 based. They'll be other vehicles, which I'm looking forward to as well, even though I have no idea what the vehicles are. Yeah. Should we call it a night?
It's almost 11.
Oh, wow. Jeez. 2 hours. Okay. My bad.
Well, we talked
I'm
about,
like, Jeff's like motoring along, and I'm looking at my phone clock going, it's almost 11 o'clock. He's like, just...
Well, I mean, we spent 30 minutes, like at the beginning of the chat, because I posted here, see, told you a Lego, only 30 minutes into the chat. So we started kind of late because we were talking about other things of dread and interest. Well, we were all there, Matt. It's not just
That's
you.
my fault.
It's all of us. I've been wanting to talk about it as well, but, just because everybody's experiences are different. Yours definitely worse than ours because you have to teach it. But
I can't turn it off, unfortunately. I have to stay at least somewhat informed. So, but I've for the most part, I only read the news between like 8 and 6, and then I just like don't check. But over the weekend with the stock market, like I was checking bed, like scrolling, and I'm like, I know I shouldn't do this because it gives me trouble sleeping because I get upset. But I was like, I need to know what's going on.
I hear you. Yeah. And you said you can't turn it off, but we can turn the chat off.
Yes, we can.
There you go. So I'm going to use that as a cut over to. Not that I want to, because I love talking to you guys, but everybody, thank you for watching. Paul, because you're really the only one that commented other than me. We're down to 4 people anyhow again. So thanks for watching. We will be back next week where hopefully we'll have new set news. We'll definitely have new set news. We'll be talking about all the new Star Wars stuff next week. That's a prediction. So hitting the button. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.